Welcome everybody, today we'll talk about my dream car that shocked the world when it came out and was brutally crushed by Japanese coupes. This car was a dream of any successful businessman, drug dealer, corrupt politician and especially to a professional bouncer that went to nowhere land to fight redneck crime syndicate with his fancy kicks, handsome looks, and by launching his W126 coupe at them like my ex-girlfriend launches at me child support payments every month. This magical car was popular not only in the world of corruption, greedy trading, glorified stockbrokers and government kickbacks, but also in the world of greatest F1 drivers. Ayrton Senna had one, Nigel Mansell had one, and many others F1 drivers at that time bought W126 coupe and W126 sedan. The reason for that is very interesting. In the middle of 50s, after horrible crash, Mercedes stopped competing in F1, but marketing team gave a 15% discount to all F1 drivers for W126. Today F1 drivers are transported only on private jets. Back then F1 drivers drove themselves all over the Europe to compete in different countries. For example, the famous Ayrton Senna in 2 years drove 13,000 miles in his W126 coupe, and he loved that car. Not only Mercedes coupe delivered one of the best ride qualities and natural luxury with its real leather and real wood and the softest ride, but W126 coupe was reliable. And if you bought back then a new Jaguar XJS or a Bentley or any other British luxury yacht, reliability would be the first concern on your mind, because as a famous F1 driver, you cannot miss a race because your car broke down. Before Mercedes made a few luxury coupes, but with W126, Mercedes created exclusive new segment called Ultra Luxury Coupe for rich people only. This beautiful creation came from the unique bald head that all 35 plus middle-aged men know and love, Mr. Bruno Sacco. Mr. Bruno Sacco said many times that this W126 coupe was his favorite creation, and also it brought a lot of cash to Mercedes. During the production, Mercedes sold 74,000 coupes all over the world, and 30,000 were the top of the range models 560 SEC. The next generation coupes W140 sold less, and the W220 sold less, and so on. Many say that W126 coupe had good sales numbers because of their longest years of production, 12 years. But in my opinion, it sold good because of the way that it delivered luxury, and it had unique driving experience that nobody gave you, and even today nobody can give you that. I love the front of the car. It's very simple but at the same time very majestic. Structure of the car was threatened due to the lack of B-pillar, and that gave W126 coupe more sporty feel. Mercedes didn't just shorten their sedan and made a coupe version. They invested into engineering and development of their new technologies in this car. It was first German coupe that had airbag, ABS, climate control, electrical adjustment for seats and steering wheel, cruise control that could adjust fuel consumption on downhill or uphill on any roads. Some will say that the first airbag was created by Ford and the first ABS system was created by Japanese. And many say that Mercedes started their copy and paste strategy with W126. But in 1985 it had wonderful V8 that no Japanese car had. Cost of the base W126 sedan was 30,000 Deutschmarks, and the cost of W126 coupe was 65,000 Deutschmark for the base car. So even in the price we can see that Mercedes did not cut corners in developing coupe version, because after investing so much you need to get back on your investments. Coupe was sold only with automatic gearbox, but W126 sedan was sold with the manual transmission. And in my opinion, buying this wonderful car with manual transmission is just pointless. At the last year of production, the price of W126 Coupe started from 160,000 Deutschmarks. And we can confidently say that Mercedes milked every penny from the coupe version after they realized what they created. Today Mercedes does the same strategy only with the one model, the G-Wagon. I do respect the AMG versions and the rare modified versions of W126 Coupe, but personally for me 560 SES is a ultimate Mercedes. Even with the huge price tag, W126 Coupe did not have the superior technology over Japanese cars. In 1988, Honda introduced their brand new 4-door steering in Prelude. Nissan Laurent in 80s had electrical mirrors. Nissan Maxima in 1984 had adaptive suspension that Nissan called supersonic suspension. It scanned the road for imperfections and adapted suspension. And almost every Japanese sedan in 80s had already parktronics. And all that technology worked perfectly, and the cars were 2-3 times cheaper than primitive Mercedes W126 560 SES. And today, the best kept 560 SES you can find only in Japan, that are in good conditions and have full service history, and also there are many of them right now. The starting price in Europe for modest 560 Coupe starts from $25,000 if you're lucky. The big question is, why do you need 560 SEC today? The first strong reason to buy 560 SEC is the quality and the feel of old luxury. Nothing that is created today except of the new Rolls-Royce will give you such a smooth ride. The smell, the quality of leather, and the unique feel of the interior is just precious. Mercedes from 80s and 90s are the leaders in used car luxury market in terms of the true old school luxury. You just cannot get this stuff anymore. Second reason is the design. 560 Coupe in black with the right wheels looks more astonishing than the housewife that can cook, looks after the kids, clean the house without nagging you every second. In every car meet, you will be the coolest person if you arrived in 560 Coupe. Every time you will look at this car, you will have this warm feeling in your soul that your life is actually a successful life. The 5.6-liter V8 generates 295 brake horsepower, and 0 to 100 will happen in 6.5 seconds or 7 seconds. Power delivery, even when you drive it aggressively, is smooth and the sound is just perfect at any RPM. That aristocratic V8 rumble gently licks your ears, and it will take you to another universe when you were young and debt-free, when you didn't have wife and you didn't have any kids, when all the time that you have was for you. Every time you will drive 560 SEC, it will deliver tons of positive emotions. Also, many of you will say that it's difficult to find some spare parts, but just drive it carefully, and this car is not difficult to work on. The engineering is not very simple, but there are a lot of mechanics that can help you, and also there are a lot of parts that you can use from W126. This car is only for driver that values true peace, luxury and style in 2024. I was lucky when I drove W126 in perfect condition few years ago, and my dream is to own W126 sedan and the coupe with the V8 engine. Thank you so much for watching, and please let me know in the comments what do you think about buying 560 SEC today. And many of you are watching my channel without subscribing, and that's very creepy, so please subscribe. Take care and bye bye.